Democrats, of course, have taken a very different position on guns. In 1978, Senator Dianne Feinstein of California became mayor of San Francisco when the mayor, George Moscone, and city supervisor Harvey Milk were shot to death by a colleague. This week, Feinstein introduced a bill to ban bump stocks. Well, I spoke with her yesterday and pointed out that this is the least ambitious of the more than a dozen gun bills she has introduced over the years. And I asked her what that says about the state of the country's gun debate.
Well, the state is sad. America is a gun-happy country. And I think there are many of us in growing numbers that don't want a gun-happy country. Guns have their place. I don't have a problem if they're used properly. But what I have seen over the decades is a growth of substantial improper use of weapons. Beginning with the Texas bell tower, you've seen law offices, you've seen businesses, you've seen movie theaters, you've seen high schools, you've seen colleges, you've seen a primary school with first graders in it, 20 of them. Now you see a great American classic, which is country music. People by the thousands out in a safe place with a big hotel in the background, and somebody comes along. He has been legal. He's gotten his weapons legally. He has 40 weapons. He has 12 of these bump stocks. They are on the weapons, and he begins to fire a weapon that fires similar to a machine gun out of 2 broken hotel windows. Every American should look at those pictures and say, do we want more of this? This is one simple thing that stops the making of a semi-automatic weapon into a machine gun.
Let me ask you this. Give me the slate of laws that if you could wave your wand and have enacted that could have prevented Vegas.
Well, I don't know. I would have to take a good look at that and really study it. I'm not sure there is any set of laws that could have prevented it. I do know this, that we have a Second Amendment. There's been difference over its interpretation by the court, the High Court. Nonetheless, the High Court has held, and possession of firearms is legal under the Second Amendment. Now, possession of machine guns is not legal under the Second Amendment. Right. The National Firearms Act said they were not legal. Ergo, now you have people with American inventiveness inventing something that can be added, an additive that boosts the firing rate to that of a machine gun. And that's what everyone saw coming out of those hotel windows.
So you've heard Congressman Scalise there. He really outlines, though, a set of reasons why he believes all of these various attempts at gun control infringe upon those rights. And Senator, that seems to be the polls that we're at here, and why it seems as if, frankly, both sides on this issue talk past each other, not to each other.
Well, I don't agree with that. First of all, let me say I'm delighted that he's back at work. He's obviously a very strong man. All I can say is right on, continue, Mr. Congressman. I'm very happy. That's one good thing this week. I don't agree with that. There is still a lot of dissent over the court's decision with respect to the Second Amendment. Be that as it may, the court has decided, and Americans generally fall in line. So let's say, from the perspective of this decision, it is legal for an American to carry a weapon. It's legal for them to drive a car. However, they register that car. We should perhaps look, and the NRA says, you know, guns don't kill people. People kill people. Well, cars don't kill people. People driving them kill people. And so there are a lot of things that could be done to make it safer. But every single one has been opposed by a very powerful organization that then goes out to get any congressman or senator that votes to the contrary. And that's a fact of life.
Are you okay if this ends up being a regulatory change by ATF, or does this have to be codified by Congress in your view?
Well, my view, it has to be codified by Congress.
Okay.
It can be changed. If it's a regulatory change, it can be changed any time. And look, how many events do we want to have happen with these devices now before we do something about it?
The California Republican Party has been calling on you to return or donate to charity campaign contributions you've received in the past from Harvey Weinstein, the movie mogul that is, there's some explosive sexual harassment allegations against him. Do you plan to do that, or have you already done that?
I don't know that I've received any. I'll certainly take a look, and then I'll make a decision.
There was some, they found some about 20 odd years ago on that front. So any of that money you plan on getting rid of or not?
I just don't know. I mean, anytime somebody does something wrong, and he's done mighty wrong, and no one has ever questioned where I stand on any of this stuff. Somebody comes to you and says, oh, they contributed to you, are you giving back the money? And you sort of look like a startled bird and say, well, let me look and see. And that's the best I can do for you today.
Senator Feinstein, one last question. Are you running for re-election?
You're going to find out about that very shortly.
What do you make of the poll recently? 50% say they'd like to, they don't know if they want to see you run for re-election again.
Look, there are polls and then there are polls. I'm ready for a good fight. I've got things to fight for. I'm in a position where I can be effective, and hopefully that means something to California.
Well, that sounds like you just announced your re-election bid. Close?
Close.
Okay. Senator Feinstein, I will leave it there. Thanks for coming on.
Thank
Appreciate
you, Chuck. Right.
Appreciate you coming on
Bye.
and sharing your views. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.